Burkina Faso, représentant son Excellence le capitaine Ibrahim Traore, président du Faso.
This transformation didn't happen by chance. It began with a leader.
Ibrahim Traore. He is Africa's youngest head of state.
In these days, there is no other name which is pronounced many times more than Captain Ibrahim Traore, from Burkina Faso to South Africa, from South Africa to Egypt, from Africa to the rest of the world. Why is everyone talking about Captain Ibrahim Traore? Who is really Ibrahim Traore? What did he do? Who are his parents? Is he married or have children? Welcome to our channel, Literature. Please do subscribe, share and comment.
Bonjour à tous. Je dirais que c'est un réel plaisir donc de passer encore une fois de plus vous dire bonjour. Hier, ça faisait une semaine exactement.
Here is a neutral, general physical description of Captain Ibrahim Traore based on widely known public images. Captain Ibrahim Traore is a tall, athletic-built Burkinabe man with a dark complexion. He often appears wearing military fatigues, a lead or rust-colored beret, and sometimes protective glasses. He has a short beard or goatee, a firm jawline, and a serious, composed facial expression typical of military officers. Ibrahim Traore can be defined as a young man, combat experienced Burkinabe military officer, turned head of state, who embodies a populist, nationalist and pan-Africanist vision, seeking to redline Burkina Faso's path away from traditional power structures and foreign influence. His lies and leadership style reflect a mix of military discipline, grassroots legitimacy, and radical ambition, making him a symbol figure of both hope and controversy in contemporary West Africa. First of all, who is Captain Ibrahim Traore? Ibrahim Traore was born on 14th March 1988 in Kela, Bondakai in western Burkina Faso. He studied geology at University of Ouagadougou, entered in 2006, graduating with a bachelor's degree. While at university, he was involved in student associations, including a Muslim student group and a more left-leaning association, the National Association of Students of Burkina Faso. After university, he joined the Burkinabe Army. Especially, he trained at George Namaono Military Academy. Let's go to the military career. Traore became second lieutenant in 2012. After training, he served in international peacekeeping. In 2014, he was promoted to lieutenant and later participated in the UN peacekeeping mission in Mali. By 2020, he had reached the rank of captain. Before coming to power, he was head of an artillery regiment based in north central region of the country. Let's talk about coup and becoming head of state at a young age. In September 2022, Traore, along with other senior officers, overthrew the then military ruler Paul Henry Sandaogo Damiba in a coup. The state reason it was dissatisfaction over how the government was handling a jihadist insurgence that has plagued the country. On 6 October 2022, Traore was formally sworn in as interim president, supreme head of the armed forces of Burkina Faso. At that time, he was among the youngest heads of state in the world. He also became a leader of the ruling military junta patriotic movement for safeguard and restoration. His political orientation, what he says he stands for. Let's go. Traore presents himself as a nationalist, Pan-Africanist leader, critical of what he calls external interference, especially former colonial powers. His rise has been accompanied by a narrative of reclaiming sovereignty over Burkina Faso's resources, fighting corruption, and reducing reliance on foreign powers. Because of his youth, his military background, and his rhetoric, he has found appeal, especially among many young people, the relations with other political elites. Let's go to the challenges, controversies, and criticism. His takeover was via a military coup, so legitimacy, democratic governance, and long-term stability are major concerns. The reason given for the coup was a failure to contain jihadist insurgents. But since then, Burkina Faso continues to face serious security problems. Regaining territory and restoring security remain difficult. There are worries about civil liberties, political freedoms, and how power is concentrated under a military regime rather than democratic institutions. Economic difficulties. There are still poverty, instability, displacement remain big challenges, limiting how much real change can be delivered, even with a strong rhetoric. Those challenges and controversies and criticism are often given by those people from West. His significance and why he matters beyond Burkina Faso. Traore is a part of a wider wave of military-led governments in West Africa, responding to dissatisfaction with previous democratic government perceived as unable to ensure security and development. His Pan-African anti-imperialist discourse resonates with segments across Africa, frustrated with Western influence and post-colonial dependencies. Because of his youth and background, military, student activism, international peacekeeping, some view him as a potential symbol of a new generation of African leadership, though whether that translates into positive change is debated. There are some questions when it comes to Ibrahim Traore. Does Traore has parents? Let's see what we know about his parents. According to one recent profile, his father was both a soldier and a nurse, and his mother was a housewife. Traore himself has said in interviews that he grew up in a modern family with parents who worked hard for their children, teaching values like honor, integrity, and effort. What do we know, or what is unclear? There is no publicly verified detailed documentation identifying his parents by full name, like first name and surname, their dates of birth, or their parent status, if they are alive or deceased. Some online sources list genetic entries like Mr. and Mistress Traore. Some different informal sources in conflict or offer varying description. For instance, one source incorrectly claims his parental horror and Matuba Metikani, but this is not corroborated elsewhere. Is he married or has children? Several biographical articles list him as married. Some sources claim that he has children, often said to be 2 children, with his spouse. But these remain uncertain. It is unverified. The identity of his wife, name, background, photos is not publicly disclosed. Multiple media checks have flagged as false or manipulated images circulating on social media that claim to show him with his wife and children. Reputable reporting notes that while the idea he is married is often repeated, his private life is kept private and rarely discussed in public. Some recent sources say there is no credible evidence that his legal family, wife, and children exist publicly or that the image information have been verified. For many, Ibrahim Traore, he is a hero, and that is the reason why everyone is talking about Ibrahim Traore. Here is a clear natural list of Ibrahim Traore's many achievements so far, based on wide renown and established developments since he took power in October 2022. Major achievement of Ibrahim Traore so far: the organized Burkina Faso's security force. Ibrahim increased recruitment of soldiers and volunteers for the defense of homeland, launched large-scale military operations against the jihadist groups, regained some areas previously controlled by armed groups, though the situation remained difficult. The second, he expelled French military forces, asked the French troops to leave Burkina Faso in early 2023, ended several military and political agreements with France. He framed this as restoring national sovereignty because France is accused of wrongdoings in Burkina Faso. He strengthened ties with Russia and other non-West partners. He signed new cooperation agreements with Russia, received military equipment and training support, shifted foreign policy away from the West. Number 4, he created the Alliance of Sahel States. He formed a regional alliance with Mali and Niger, included mutual defense, intelligence sharing, and plans for economic cooperation. The three countries later announced withdrawal from ECOWAS. Number 5, he promoted Pan-Africanism and youth empowerment. He became a symbol of anti-imperialism among many African youth, promoted ideas of African self-reliance and sovereignty, gained strong support, particularly among young generations. Ibrahim Traore launched the domestic reforms. He encouraged local agriculture, food production, and mining reforms. He promoted state control over strategic natural resources. He pushed for infrastructure improvement like roads, energy, rural development, strengthened the state messaging on dignity and sovereignty, build a national narrative around pride, patriotism, and independence. He rejected external pressure on political transition timelines. Traore shifted the country's diplomatic identity. Ibrahim Traore's achievements so far mainly involve military restricting, shifting Burkina Faso's foreign alliance, strengthening regional cooperation with Mali and Niger, promoting sovereignty, and initiating local economic reforms. Ibrahim Traore is praised among his population, among his people. They say he is a hero, and they appreciate and they have hope for better future. This is the reason why Ibrahim Traore is being said, is being pronounced everywhere. And probably it is going to be the same even in another years to come.